Hey, good morning. I'm Chris. I'm a sales engineer with Oliver Marketing, and we are here today at the Sony ES audio event in Kirkland, Washington. And we're going to take a look at some really cool new Sony AVRs. So let's go inside. So if you're in the market for a new home theater receiver, then you are in luck. Sony just released 4 new models, which we're going to take a look at today. It's been 8 years since Sony last introduced new AV receivers, so this is definitely exciting news. So let's take a look. At the beginning of the lineup, we have the Str Az1000 ES, which on the audio side has 7 amplified speaker channels, 2 discrete subwoofer outputs, plus 2 digital audio inputs, which are optical and coaxial, and 4 analog inputs, all assignable. For video, we have 6 4K HDMI inputs, of which 2 can handle 8K or 4K 120Hz signals, 2 HDMI outputs for your main and second video zones, plus a composite input if you're into that sort of thing. The next new receiver in Sony's lineup is the Str Az3000 ES, which expands to 9 amplified channels with 2 subwoofer outputs, 3 digital audio inputs, 4 analog inputs, and 2 line-level room outputs. On the video side, we have 6 HDMI inputs, with 4 of those handling 8K or 4K 120 signals, and 2 HDMI outputs for a main and second zone. Moving further up the line, we have the Str Az5000 ES, which on the audio side has 11 amplified channels, 11 theater pre-outs for external amplification, 2 discrete subchannels, 3 digital audio inputs, 4 analog inputs, and 2 line-level room outputs. For video, we have 7 HDMI inputs, 1 for convenience on the front, 4 of those handling 8K or 4K 120 sources, and 2 HDMI outputs for a main and second video zone. At the top of the lineup is the Str Az7000 ES, featuring 13 amplifier channels, 13 pre-outs, 2 subwoofer outputs, 3 digital audio inputs, 4 analog inputs, and 2 line-level room outputs. On the video side of things, we have 7 HDMI inputs, with 4 of those handling 8K or 4K 120 sources, and 2 HDMI outputs for the main and second video zones. So those are the differences in hardware between the 4 models in Sony's new ES receiver line, but let's talk for a minute about the similarities between all of these units. So every one of these 4 units has digital cinema calibration IX. A very important distinction is that it's not cinema calibration 9, it's cinema calibration IX. They also, every one of them handles 3D surround formats like Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, 360 reality audio. Every one of them does 360 spatial sound mapping. They all have the enhanced auto calibration feature, which is pretty badass if you've ever seen it in person. We're going to get into that a little bit later. All of them have the wireless functionality that you would expect. So they all do Wi-Fi, they all do Bluetooth. They all have Chromecast built in, Apple AirPlay, Spotify Connect. All 4 of them work with Sonos, which Mike is going to demonstrate in a little bit. And everybody supports high-res audio, which is pretty banging, especially for a receiver that can be part of your music system. They are all rack mountable using the same rack ear kit. Every one of them, because they're ES, they all come with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty slick. All right, so we're here with Russell from Sony, and we are going to go over some of the custom installer functionality that is nicely baked into our brand new Sony AVRs. So without further ado, take it away, sir.
All right, so one of the cool features about all of our receivers, not just the 3000 that we're covering here, but is the ability to access our web UI browser interface. Sorry, the screen went dim as I turned it around. But one great thing for the installer, starting at the 3000 series, if I pop off this front cover here on the front receiver, I've got the ping button. And what this ping button does is when I hit it, I can access the MAC address, or I can quickly get the IP address, pop the IP address into my browser. It could be on a tablet, could be on your phone or a computer, and I'm gonna have access, full access to every functionality inside of this receiver. So if I wanna go through and I wanna change inputs, if I wanna look at my speakers, any adjustments that are inside, that are saved inside the receiver, I have access real time to do all those great features through the web UI interface. Great feature for the installers that maybe you're stuck by the rack, don't have the ability to connect a video cable, HDMI cable to your display. Type in the IP address and you're there. So that's one great feature starting at the 3000 with the ping button. You can access that with our 1000 series receiver here off to the side, but you have to navigate through the menus. So great feature.
Lower price point.
Ping, yeah, lower price point, ping button, you're all set to get the web UI interface.
Sweet. Another new feature of the ES line is deeper Sonos integration. Let's hear more about it from Mike.
Basically what this is it's a quick automation. It tells the Sony to kick on, go to a specific input at a designated volume. So from the Sony, or from the end user perspective, right, they're going to use the Sonos app to kick on his own as they normally would, and AVR is going to kick on just to automate the process. So at this point, you'd assume that your Sonos system is already set up and ready to go. So port's been named, it's good to go. You can do this through the web UI or the on-screen, so it doesn't matter if you're using the on-screen. I'm just going to go into network settings, scroll down, ports with Sonos, connected device screen. So these have already both been configured. We got two ports, one's bedroom, the other's media. So when we go into connected device, you'll see what's already currently connected. Let's say I remove that real quick so we can do it from scratch. So fresh screen, you're going to come in, nothing's connected. Literally just looks like this. It's going to have your zone name listed there. So the prior iteration just had the MAC address. New one actually lists the name, so a little bit easier. Specify bedroom, makes the connection. At that point you can pick what input you're going to, whether it's Toslink or analog, doesn't matter. So specify auxiliary, preset volume, whatever you want it to be when it kicks on, right? So your maximum volume for the given zone. And then you can actually output main, second, or third zone. So for most of us, it's going to be right main zone utilization. You can do this twice. So you can link up the two ports and then route the other one second input as well as a second output zone. So as soon as you do that, it's mapped, it's good to go, it's live. iPad.
I don't know. They don't use the gaming version.
Take over to Sonos. So let's take our bedroom zone, for example. Hit play. AVR is going to kick over. Music starts playing. The cool part is this is actually over Wi-Fi. So I think we were talking about that earlier. That's it. So similar to how it worked last time, but this time they actually worked with Sonos to develop it. It's not a kind of a hack together version. So what we were finding is in prior iterations, it would 6+ zones that lag would start to grow, and it could be up to a minute to where it was monitoring that traffic, and it would just take a really long time. So now we can go up to 32 zones and nothing is an issue.
So that's a quick introduction to the brand new Sony ES receivers. A big thank you to Sony for being great partners to us and supporting events like this, and a special thanks to Kathleen, Russell, and Nick, who joined us in Kirkland and who always give us amazing support across the Sony line. Stay tuned for more videos and features about Sony and our other brand partners and other features we hope you'll enjoy. And because this wouldn't be a YouTube video without me saying it, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you see that right off the dome.